They humiliated me in public, so I let them destroy themselves. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. But what they don't tell you is that sometimes the sweetest revenge is doing absolutely nothing at all. Drop a comment right now and tell me, have you ever been publicly humiliated? And where are you watching from? I read every single one. This is the story of how I watched my bullies destroy themselves, while I sat back and did nothing. And by the end, they were begging me for help. But here's the twist you won't see coming. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to the worst day of my life. The conference room held 200 people. Investors, executives, industry leaders, and me standing at the podium, about to present the biggest pitch of my career. 26 years old. Self-made. Hungry. I'd spent 3 years building my software company from my garage. 3 years of ramen noodles and sleepless nights. This pitch? It was everything. $10 million in funding. The chance to compete with the giants. Then I saw them walk in. Derek Stone and Jessica Vale. My former business partners. The ones who'd stolen my original prototype 2 years ago and launched their own company, BlitzTech. They'd become millionaires overnight using MY code, my ideas, my late nights. And now they sat in the front row, whispering to each other. Smirking. I started my presentation. 30 seconds in, Derek's phone rang. Loud. Obnoxious. He answered it. Oh, sorry, he said, not sorry at all. Continue. I did. Then Jessica started laughing. Not quietly. Full volume. People turned to look. I'm sorry, she announced to the room. But this is literally our product. He copied us. This is embarrassing. My throat went dry. That's not true. Derek stood up. We have the patents to prove it. This guy worked for US. He signed an NDA. And now he's trying to steal our intellectual property. The room erupted. Whispers. Stares. The investors closed their laptops. I tried to explain. Tried to show my original files, my timestamps, my proof. But they were louder. Richer. More convincing. Security escorted me out. In the lobby, Jessica caught up to me. You should have stayed small, she whispered. This is what happens when you try to play with the big kids. Comment below, what would you have done in this moment? Fight back or walk away? I didn't sleep for 3 days. My investor calls went to voicemail. My reputation? Destroyed. Industry blogs called me a thief. My LinkedIn was flooded with hate messages. I'd lost everything. Sitting in my apartment 1 month behind on rent, I made a decision. I wasn't going to fight them. I wasn't going to expose them. I wasn't going to do anything. Because I'd learned something about Derek and Jessica over the years we'd worked together. They were their own worst enemies. Derek had an ego the size of Alaska. He couldn't resist showing off, taking credit, making promises he couldn't keep. Jessica was paranoid. Controlling. She trusted no one and micromanaged everything until people snapped. Together? They were a ticking time bomb. So I made a burner email account. Anonymous. Untraceable. And I started watching. Their company's social media. Their press releases. Their employee reviews on job sites. I created a simple spreadsheet and tracked everything. Within 2 weeks, I noticed the pattern. Employee turnover. 12 people quit in 1 month. The reviews were brutal, toxic environment. CEO takes credit for everyone's work. VP screens at people in meetings. Then came the first domino. A tech blog published an article, BlitzTech latest update, a glitchy disaster. Their flagship product, my stolen code that they'd improved, was crashing. Customers were furious. I did nothing. Just watched. 3 months later, I got an unexpected message. It was from River Chen, BlitzTech's lead developer. We'd met once at a networking event. Can we talk? Off the record? We met at a coffee shop. River looked exhausted. I know what they did to you, River said quietly. I found the original source code in the archives. Your name was all over it. They scrubbed it, but not well enough. My heart pounded. Why are you telling me this? Because I can't work for liars anymore. And because, River hesitated. Derek promised me equity. A partnership. That was 18 months ago. Last week, I found out he's been interviewing my replacement. He's planning to fire me and keep my shares. I leaned back. What do you want from me? Nothing, River said. I just thought you should know, karma's coming for them. Fast. River slid a folder across the table. Inside were financial documents. Emails. Text messages. BlitzTech was hemorrhaging money. The glitchy product update had cost them $3 million in refunds and lost contracts. Investors were threatening to pull out. And Derek had been cooking the books to hide it, inflating revenue numbers, hiding expenses. Securities fraud. I'm quitting tomorrow, River said. And I'm not the only one. 6 of us are leaving. All at once. We're starting our own company. What happens to BlitzTech? River smiled sadly. They won't survive the month without us. Especially when the investors find out the truth about those financial reports. I stared at the folder. My hands trembled. I could turn this over to the SEC. To the investors. I could destroy them with a single email. But River's words echoed in my mind. Karma's coming for them. Drop a comment. Should I have exposed them or let them fall on their own? I didn't send the documents anywhere. I put them in a safe deposit box and waited. 2 weeks later, 6 senior developers quit BlitzTech in a single day. The company's stock plummeted. Emergency board meetings. Panic. Derek went on a podcast to do damage control. He was sweating. Stammering. He blamed the developers. Called them disloyal. Said they'd sabotaged the company. Jessica released a statement saying everything was fine. Minor growing pains. But you could see it in their eyes. The fear. 1 month later, a major client sued them for breach of contract. The lawsuit revealed something explosive. BlitzTech had sold software they couldn't actually deliver. Vaporware. Promises built on nothing. The SEC launched an investigation into their financial reporting. Everything River had warned me about was coming true. And I hadn't lifted a finger. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Heavy breathing. Then, it's Jessica. My blood went cold. I know you're behind this, she hissed. You planted those developers. You sabotaged our code. You. I didn't do anything, Jessica. Liar. You destroyed us. We're finished. The board is forcing us out. We're losing everything. I stayed silent. Please, she whispered, and now she was crying. Please. Tell them it wasn't us. Tell them we didn't cook the books. Tell them. Jessica, I said calmly. I haven't spoken to anyone about your company. Not the SEC. Not the investors. Not the press. I've been rebuilding my life. Quietly. Then who? You did this to yourselves. I hung up. 2 months after that call, I was in my new office. After the humiliation, I'd gone back to basics. Started small. Built a new product, something completely different from my original software. I focused on one thing, making something genuinely useful. No hype. No huge promises. Just a good product. Slowly, customers found me. Word of mouth spread. I hired 2 people, then 5, then 10. Nothing fancy. But it was mine. Clean. Honest. Then Derek showed up. He looked terrible. Hollow eyes. Wrinkled suit. He'd aged 10 years in 6 months. I need your help, he said. I gestured to a chair. He sat. Blitztech is dead, he continued. The board kicked us out. We're bankrupt. Jessica won't even talk to me anymore. She blames me for everything. Why are you here, Derek? He looked at his hands. Because I know I destroyed you. And you had every right to destroy me back. But you didn't. I didn't do anything. Exactly. He looked up. You let us fall on our own. And watching that, it broke something in me. Made me realize, his voice cracked. I've spent 10 years stepping on people to get ahead. And the moment things got hard, everyone abandoned me. Because I'd never been loyal to anyone. I said nothing. You could have buried me with what you knew. River told me about the folder. The evidence. But you didn't use it. Didn't need to. He nodded slowly. I'm not asking for a job. Or money. Or forgiveness. I needed you to know that I'm sorry. Truly. And that you were right. About everything. He stood to leave. Derek. He turned. I am hiring, I said carefully. Junior positions. Low pay. Hard work. If you're interested, send me your resume like everyone else. No special treatment. His eyes widened. You'd actually consider. I don't know yet. But I believe people can change. If they want to badly enough. Derek did send his resume. I didn't hire him, not right away. He needed to prove himself first. But 6 months later, after he'd volunteered for 3 different nonprofits and rebuilt his reputation from the ground up, I brought him on as a contractor. He's been with my company for a year now. Not a partner. Not a friend. But someone who shows up, works hard, and treats people with respect. Jessica? Last I heard, she moved to another state. Started over in a completely different industry. The lesson I learned isn't about revenge. It's about patience. Sometimes the universe doesn't need your help to balance the scales. Sometimes the worst thing you can do to people who've wronged you is absolutely nothing. Because people who build their success on lies, ego, and betrayal, they'll always collapse under the weight of their own choices. And you? You just keep building something real. Final question for you, do you think I should have hired Derek? Comment yes or no below, and tell me where you're watching from. I love seeing where you all are. If you made it this far, you're part of the 1% who finishes videos. Hit that subscribe button, I've got more stories like this coming next week. And remember, the best revenge is no revenge at all.